This is the podcast, not an interview. This is a conversation. No gimmicks, just reasons. 84 reasons. Come holler at me. What up, my good people, man? Been a little while, but we back. And when I tell you my next guest, he needs no introduction, but I'm gonna try to go through it. Late game heroics aside, one of the best catchers in the country, getting ready to start this regional here coming up soon. But in his mind, he's just a catcher. We're gonna get to that. Georgia boy, I always loved them Georgia boys, but catcher for them Florida Gators, a great BT Riopelle. What's going on there with BT?
Doing all right, guys. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Now, BT, man, I got to call you out on something you said. I know after games you got to answer questions real fast. You said, "quote I don't do the NIL stuff that much, man. I worry about keeping money, not work." So, what did you mean? We appreciate you taking the time for this NIL for Florida, Florida victorious. But to those people who didn't understand what you meant, who don't understand that after games, I'm just trying to get through this interview so I can go to the locker room, man. Don't quote me on my sound bites.
Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of NIL stuff compared to, a lot of other big name guys, but definitely capitalize on it as much as I can, which obviously I had the opportunity to speak to you guys today and took advantage of it. It was a good opportunity. So yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on today. It's a lot.
Marietta, Georgia, Conway, South Kakalaki, Gainesville. Obviously, you was able to have a legacy at, Coastal Carolina to come to Gainesville. But talk about your time at Coastal Carolina, man. You was a hell of a player there, man. What went into the decision, to come to Florida?
Yeah. So like you said, I'm from Marietta. Luckily had a lot of really good coaches in the area growing up. Had a lot of connections. Mike Hurst being one of them. He was the Georgia State head coach. He's actually the all-time winningest coach at Georgia State. He got me in contact with Coastal, and I was kind of a football guy. Really, I didn't do a whole lot of travel ball or whatnot. But yeah, Coastal saw me one night, and it was kind of just a quick deal where they saw me, and I committed the next day. It was awesome. It was a perfect fit at the time for me. Had a fantastic experience up there with Coach Gilmore and Kevin Schnall and all the other coaches on staff. But it was a fantastic experience. I thoroughly enjoyed my time at Coastal, and just ultimately decided it was the time to move on. But very, very grateful for my time there.
Now, BT, you mentioned it. I mean, dual sport athlete, quarterback, punter, catcher. How does the two coincide with each other? Like you said, I was a football guy. When did baseball become maybe not necessarily the first love, but this is what I see myself doing?
Yeah, I didn't really know. I'm like I said, I'm definitely a football guy. Like I've always loved football. I like hitting people, which I didn't get to do a whole lot of as a quarterback and a punter. But I just realized that there were a lot of other really good guys out there that could spin the ball a lot better than I could. Growing up in the Atlanta area, it's a very prominent place for young talent to grow up and play in Power 5 conference football. So I kind of got a little bit of a taste of what it looked like at the next level, and just kind of thought baseball was more of a path for me. Ended up just kind of falling in my hands where I got to be at a diamond in the rough program, being a national championship winning program in Coastal Carolina, and definitely took advantage of the opportunity there.
BT, the one thing we hear about the SEC, and they're usually talking about football, is how different the competition is. You played in the Sun Belt. Now you're playing in the SEC. Is it more than what you thought it would be? I mean, because it seems like every team is y'all rival. It doesn't matter who y'all playing. Talk about Sun Belt baseball compared to SEC baseball.
Yeah, well, I would say the talent level is the Sun Belt has a lot of talent as well. I mean, I've played with many good players that have gone to have very good careers in professional baseball in the minor leagues and whatnot. But I would just say the plethora of talent in the SEC. I mean, you see it day in and day out. I mean, you're seeing it on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 1 through 9 in every lineup, and guys that come off the bench too that don't even play that can be difference makers in Major League Baseball one day. So that's really the biggest difference for me. Ultimately, obviously, the SEC is very very competitive. Like you said, every team's our rival. I mean, certain teams you like playing more than others, but yeah, every weekend's competitive, Friday through Sunday, and yeah, you kind of hit it on the head.
We're gonna get to the back-to-back jacks. We're gonna get to that. I like to like, you know, kind of get my audience, keep them in suspense. But being a catcher is a very, very, very unique skill set, right? Everybody played shortstop growing up, left field growing up, pitched a little bit growing up, but a pitcher-catcher connection is about as unique as sports get. Talk about you being a catcher and just, does that help you at the plate or not? But talk about being a catcher and just, you know, are you trying to, what do you think about when these batters are standing in front of you? Are you trying to get the pitcher's best stuff, or are you just saying, listen, man, I'm gonna try to, you know, make this hitter think a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of both. I mean, I just like to say I'm a student of the game. I absolutely love baseball. It's very interesting to see all the little points of the game that the average human wouldn't actually see going to watch a game. The ins and outs of it are very intriguing to me. I've always thought that. So I've always played that into my favor. So I do a little bit more research. I like to talk to the coaches about scouting reports. You know, now in my career I can call pitches, so that kind of helps me. But yeah, like you said, it's a very dynamic thing between a pitcher and a catcher. It's a lot different than really anything else in sports. But you know, I do try to use our strengths to our advantage, but then also use our strengths to exploit the hitters' holes that they may have in their swing too, or their deficiencies in their swing. So yeah, I absolutely love it. It's a great thing that I've been able to do in my career, and just very fortunate to be a catcher.
I talked about the chemistry between you and the pitchers, but the chemistry on this team is about as electric as it can get. We talk about from the batters, you talk about the defense, you talk about yourself. What is it like playing for a team that talent top to bottom, and it could be anybody's night on any given night?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, that last year I kind of thought that just coming to the University of Florida, really being around a bunch of really good players. Obviously, we had Sterling last year be a first rounder, and Judd being a first rounder and a second rounder between 2 different years, and now you had Hurston coming to Florida this year, and Brandon Sproat come back, and obviously Cags, and you know, Cade Curlin's a freshman phenom. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. There's so many other players. I mean, Josh has completely morphed himself into a first or second round talent this year too, and which is awesome to see. So yeah, I mean, I can continue to go on down the list, but I mean, there's just so many talented guys. But really, what strikes me the most is the high character individuals we have on our team. Like, yeah, we have so much talent, but I truly think that the reason we've had success this year is because of the kind of people that we have on our team. That starts with Sully, and that goes down to the very last guy on, you know, throughout the Lincoln chain. I mean, I think that's really why we've had the success, and ultimately, I think that'll help us in this coming weekend and in the future too. So, we really pride ourselves on that. That's one thing that I've always liked to be a part of, is a team that really cares about each other, but it's just good people too. They're good in the community. They're good to their fans, and they represent their university well.
I know you just mentioned a lot of players, man, but where the hell the Cags come from? Like, you know, we get it. You know, he looks like a tight end running out there, right? Big dude, right? I mean, like, what is it like playing with a guy who, obviously, I go back to when he hit the home run. Obviously, you know, his teammate got thrown out, and he kind of did the whole, I'm not gonna celebrate. So what is it like playing with a guy like that?
I mean, it's pretty crazy. I mean, he hits in the same group that I do for BP, so we were actually talking about it today. Like, there's only a couple guys that I've ever played with that you can actually hear the bat going through the zone. Like, you can hear the bat and like just feel the bat going through the zone. It's just a different type of contact that comes off his bat with the ball, and it's pretty crazy. I mean, he's a strong guy. He's obviously built the way that everybody else sees, and he's super put together, and he's definitely got a very bright future.
All right, BT, when you're a football player, when you're a quarterback, you know, it's fourth quarter, you know, y'all down by 4, so you got to throw it in the end zone, you know, but this time, you know, I don't know if it's top of the 11th, bottom of the 11th, which one? You coming up? I mean, when you connected with it, did you know it was going when you connected? And what everybody talks about walk-offs. Everybody talks about it. Most of us we don't get a chance to do it. What is that feeling like, man?
It's definitely a feeling that you dream about or you think about your whole life. I mean, I've had so many opportunities to do something like that and it just falls short. And yeah, I don't know. It might just be the guy above kind of helping me out a little bit, but I've never really been a part of a game like that. It's pretty awesome to feel that after a game. I mean, your teammates embrace you like that, and yeah, it was a pretty surreal feeling. I mean, I knew I connected with it. I didn't know it was gone. That's a big park, and the ball really wasn't flying that well that I could see from the games prior, and um, so I hit it and I just kept watching it. Oh my gosh, okay, it's gonna go. So then I just kind of looked around.
So when you run around the bases, obviously, the game is over. Are you thinking about what you're gonna do? Like, listen, I just want to run the bases. Are you? Because there's a lot of adrenaline from home back, from home to first, second, third. What when you touch home plate and you thinking, dude, what the hell? What did I just do? And most people want to hit the home run, you get showered or whatever, go to the locker room. No, BT, you gotta do some interviews. Like,
Yeah.
did you know you was like your mind is not on that, but you like, man, I want to celebrate. And here they go trying to ask some old super duper important question. You like, look, man, I'm tired as hell. I'm happy that I was able to do it. I'm trying to get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I'm a competitor, so when I saw it go out, I would be it'd be wrong for me to say if I didn't talk a little smack around the bases or whatnot. But I know the umpire at second base. He's pretty close with a couple of our coaches, so I said something to him too, and he started laughing. It was funny, but I rounded third and just saw all my whole team at home plate, and that's kind of when I blacked out. I didn't really remember much until I had to start speaking to people that were asking me questions I didn't really know how to answer. So
Then BT, man, most people want to have that encore. You get us, it's tied 1-1. You get us up 2-1. Then we down 6-3. Grand slams are rare, people. I don't care what grand slams is like. It's like for a pitcher, it's like a perfect game. It's crazy. When you hit that one though, now obviously it was gone, but you was like, oh my freaking God. It's almost like, is it a momentum thing from one game to the next, or is it just having really, really good at bats?
yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a accumulation of all the pitches that I've seen from Vandy and tendencies that they've kind of used to get me out in the past and stuff like that. And with bases loaded, I had an idea of what was going to happen, like from a pitching standpoint, how they were going to approach me, and just kind of took advantage of it. I felt like I was swinging the bat pretty good up to that point. I mean, I hit the one the night before, and then had a little confidence to hit the one earlier. Had a little confidence, so wasn't really thinking about hitting a home run. I was really just thinking about hitting the ball the other way and the pitch he was going to throw me. And when I got the pitch over the plate, I didn't miss it. It was just kind of another opportunity for me to help my team win, and kind of ended up that way.
Now you said when you hit the walk off, you kind of talking a little trash to them Alabama boys. Vanderbilt is one of the best teams in college baseball. We get it. They don't mind talking trash. I know they probably got the best GPAs in the SEC. We get that part. But is the trash talking just healthy banter? Because baseball players, y'all talk a lot of trash. And I don't know if you get to talk to the hitters when they right there in front of you, or you looking at them saying, "Listen, man, you want to ease up on the bat a little bit." You kind of you hit the grand slam. Are you talking trash to them Vandy boys? Or you letting them know, yeah, that was me? Because I'll tell you this. I know in baseball you got these unwritten rules like don't stare at a pitcher if you go yard. I don't like that kind of. If I go yard on you, Bumgarner, I'm looking at you. So was it some trash talk running around the bases with a team like Vanderbilt who don't lack any level of confidence?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a happy medium. There's a unwritten rules of the game. There's all that kind of stuff. I personally believe in that. I'm not going to be the first person to like start talking trash. I know Alabama was the whole game, so we just made them quiet at the end of the game. That's all that matters. But no, there's a few teams and a few programs that we really respect, and there's like a very high mutual respect from the top down, from Sully down to our team. And I would definitely say Vandy's one of them. I mean, they're such a well-coached program. Tim Corbin's done a fantastic job. Obviously, they have a bunch of high-character guys, much like us. I mean, they're two very respected programs, Florida and Vandy, in college baseball. So, no, there's not a whole lot of trash talk with them, and we just go out there and play as hard as we can. because we know it's going to be a dogfight every time we play them. So there wasn't a whole lot of trash talk there. I mean, it's hard to beat a team 4 times in a season, let alone 4 times in 2 weeks. So you try not to talk trash because you had to play them the very next day or 2 days later too. So um, it always comes back to get you. So we try to keep our mouth quiet. But if it does ramp up, I have no problem stepping up for my team.
Vanderbilt goes out and wins the SEC tournament. Shout out to the Commodores, okay? But y'all co-SEC champs. You can't just get away from that. What is that feeling like? Because, like I said, y'all gained a lot of momentum towards the end of the season. Baseball is crazy, man. I mean, baseball, you can lose against a team you should win against a team you should lose. It's just crazy. It's not really necessarily the talent, but co-SEC champs. Well, how'd y'all when y'all finished the season that way and had to give you guys some momentum going into the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. That's really predominantly the reason why a lot of us came back this year, is because we didn't have, a ring on our finger. I just wanted another opportunity to, put a ring on our finger and, get some more hardware for this program, put a plaque up and say we won a championship, because that's something I haven't done in my career and a lot of guys haven't done here. So it's good to kind of turn the program back to national prominence of that sort. I mean, Florida had a very wrong turn, it seemed like, for the last 2 years, and we didn't accomplish the things that a program like this should. So it's just another win in the books for us, but it is good. It's a good feeling to have that, on our back.
When you say a program like this should, getting back to the standard of, Florida baseball, Coach Sully, I mean, I don't know many coaches more accomplished in sports than he is when you talk about what he does. How much is it making sure that, look, man, I want to do right by a coach, man, that gave me a chance to come to Florida, man, and then holding up the standard at Florida, which is very, very high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it definitely starts from him. I mean, he sets the standard for us, right? I mean, you talk about experience. That guy's had more experience than almost any coach in college baseball right now. So he sets the blueprint for us every single day. He knows what it looks like. He knows what really good players look like that have been successful. He knows what a team's supposed to look like. And ultimately, he knows what a team's supposed to look like at the end of the year, and how it's supposed to progress throughout a year. So, yeah, he's really set the blueprint for us. We know what it looks like. And, it's super special, too, because you have Mike Rivera. I mean, that guy goes unseen, but he knows what it's like as well as Sully. I mean, he was on the 2017 team specifically for me as a catcher. And he knows what it's supposed to look like from a pitching standpoint, an offensive standpoint, a team standpoint. And he's really helped a lot with the mental side of my game and the way I'm supposed to approach, leadership and my play and, taking care of my body throughout the year and stuff like that. So he's really helped a lot too. So Mike Rivera, he's been fantastic for our team as well this year, but it's all kind of helped.
Co-SEC champs, came up a little bit short in the tourney, even though you guys made a lot of noise. As you mentioned, it's hard to beat a team 4 times, no matter who it is, but when it's Vandy, that's going to be even harder. But hosting a regional is special. I don't care how long you've been playing. Listen, I get to wake up in my bed. They coming to see us. You guys ranked number 2 hosting a regional. What is that feeling like?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, Sully's done it, 10 times out of his 16 years since he's been here. I think I saw that today, which is pretty remarkable. I mean, that's a long track record of a lot of really good players that have paved the way for us in this program. We're just another stepping stone, in that pathway for future players to come play at Florida. But it's awesome. Like you said, we get to sleep in our own bed. I mean, I don't have to go play at a very hostile environment. We get to use that to our advantage this weekend. Versus 2 very good teams in Texas Tech and UConn, as well as a Florida A&M team that's going to give you a dogfight every time you play them too. So, we're very happy to have them here, and we're very excited to show what Gainesville and Contra Family Ballpark have to offer to other teams. And hopefully they'll come out and be loud for our Gators this weekend and give them a show.
You talked about working on your poise, working on your body, working on your leadership, but pressure is a real thing, especially when you hosting a regional, when everybody expects you guys to come out of that section. How do you keep all the nerves, because at bats are one thing, you controlling the flow of the game. I mean, you calling the pitches. I mean, how do you keep your nerves under you, especially with the stakes only getting higher and higher as you guys move forward?
I mean, for me, nerves really aren't a thing. I mean, I've played in front of a lot of people before. I've failed in front of a lot of people, and last week really shown that I succeed in front of a lot of people. Nerves aren't really anything that kind of bothers me. It's really trying to hone the guys in that haven't been there before, allow those younger guys to lean on older guys like myself and Josh and Sproat, and Wyatt and a lot of people that have been there before, to calm them down and keep us as a collective unit together. Just play our brand of baseball. That's really all we can do. And if we do that, we'll be in good shape.
BT, I think you might even said this one time. Baseball is the ultimate game of failure. I mean, it's the ultimate game, and the best players just fail at a lesser rate than everybody else. Mm-hmm. But each at bat, you learn it about yourself. Every at bat. What are you thinking when you? Because obviously you being a catcher, I mean, I'm pretty sure you see pitches. I can see certain things, tendencies of certain pitches. What are you looking for as far as a pitcher? Are you looking for him giving away something, or are you just saying, listen, man, let me just see the ball, let me not try to overthink this thing?
Well, I think every at bat is dictated by your preparation. I mean, your preparation is everything. That can be from scouting reports from your coaches that you get. At the University of Florida, we have every single resource that we could use, that we could have to possibly put us in the best position to have success. So it's ultimately up to the player if they use those things to enhance their ability to potentially have success whenever they get in the box. So I really try to use everything that I can, and just rely on my training. I mean, my training is everything, but I try not to really drill myself too much. I know what I need to do as a fifth year guy. So I just get in and just free-minded, but I have a plan when I go into the box, but that's really it. I mean, there's nothing mechanically or anything like that. I just try to do what's necessary for the team in that specific moment, and just play the game.
I mean, speaking of moments, I mean, going back, 3 jacks in 2 days, one of them being a walk-off, another being a grand slam, getting us back in the game. Fans are crazy now. Florida, we love the University of Florida. There is no doubt about it. We got some weirdos out there, BT. Have you came in contact with the weirdos, and how many people told you you've changed their life strictly by what you've done on the diamond?
No, sadly, we spent too much time in a hotel or an airport to be around a whole lot of people, so I haven't seen many of those. But I try to keep my face out of social media and stuff like that, man. It's all a great thing, and it's good to keep, all Florida Gators, both players and fans, connected. It's a fantastic fan base, and it's just a fantastic university. It's good that we're all together, but I try to keep my nose out of that. My dad's the other way. He loves all that stuff. He loves seeing it, but I'm not a huge fan of all that.
So wait a minute. So let me get this straight. So the son is telling the dad, "Hey, Dad, calm that down, bro. Like, no. I saw you." Because usually it's the other way around. Like, it doesn't, because the thing about you guys, Era, everything can go viral in a second. Right. As soon as it leaves your bag, it's been retweeted 100,000 times before you even make it to home plate. Are you saying to yourself, Dad, listen to me, I need you to calm down? Yes, I was there. I did it. So the son has to calm down to dad. So your dad is living vicariously through you at this point.
Absolutely. My dad's my biggest fan. He's not a flashy guy. He's not really much of a baseball guy at all. But he's just very proud of my accomplishments. He's proud of, first off, as me as a person, and what I represent my family, how I represent my family every day. I mean, he's very, very happy for me. He's so happy that after I hit that home run ball, somebody found it and he had the home run ball in his pocket for 3 days. He's just like, he just loves it. So, yeah, he's my best friend and he's my biggest supporter, but you got to hunt him a little bit because he's super excited about all this stuff.
Wait a minute, BT. He also a negotiator. Wait, he found the person that called the home run. They gave it to him. Listen, I'm his dad. What do you mean? Did he have to show? How did he get them to give it up? Because nowadays, eBay, Amazon, whatever you want to call it, everything is, people trying to make some money. He found it. He found the home run ball, went up to the person with it, told him who he was, without security, without threatening them, and they gave it to him.
No, somebody gave it to me, and then I gave it to him. But we'll go with your story though, because that's a lot better.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not trying to create no storylines. I'm not trying to create no drama. Daddy Riopelle, that Riopelle. Listen, it's your son. Y'all having it, but with this regional coming up, man, this atmosphere. Because I get it. You play baseball a lot. I know it's all about. Once you get into the game, it's just another game. I get it. But what is that atmosphere going to be like? Because like I said, baseball is a long season. Sometimes it goes your way. You talked about the last couple of years not really living up to the Florida Gator baseball standard to get back to where you guys, work hard to be. What is that what is that atmosphere going to feel like knowing that, hey, man, we here, whatever we've done to this point is great, but it's about right now.
Yeah, it's going to feel awesome. I mean, it's we'll see if the rain holds off. That's really going to help us out too if the rain holds off. But yeah, it's a little bit different when you walk out and you don't see any chairs open, you don't see any grass on the berm, you don't see any chairs open in the outfield. You can't even hear yourself think. You got people around you just screaming. It's a little bit different, and it's a little bit different when they're Florida Gator fans, not Alabama fans like they were at the SEC tournament too. So we're super excited about it. I mean, yeah, it really just is another game for us. We're just really trying to win every pitch and every play to ultimately win the game. But it will be a little bit different because it's at our own place, and it's a big game.
Kid from Cobb County now. He's in Alachua County. I don't even know what the area code is. I mean, up there in Atlanta, you got 44770. It's too many names. Now he's in the 352. What is it going to mean to you talk about your dad being your biggest fan and your mom and your sister. What's it going to mean to them? Because like I said, you could have dreamt something like this going from, because it's supposed to be in Conway. Now you here in Gainesville. What is it going to mean to your family when this just shows my age. I don't know if the ump yells out play ball. I don't know. Maybe I watched too many movies. I get it. But what is it going to mean to your family knowing that, hey, man, that's my brother out there. That's my son out there about to take these Gators to the next level, hopefully.
Yeah, it'll mean everything to him. I know my sister just had a baby, so she won't be able to be there this weekend. Because you got to travel your whole life whenever we have a little kid now. So she'll be watching on TV. But, yeah, my parents will be there. Yeah, they'll be super excited. They'll be cheering. They'll be whatever. My dad will probably be quiet because he'll want to watch. He'll probably pace around a little bit, but yeah, it'll be awesome. I know they're super excited for me, and I'm super excited to play in front of them.
I mean, super excited to play. I mean, you saying my sister just had is this your first time being an uncle? I mean, it's the first one.
I'm a funkle, the fun uncle.
You a fun. Hold on. I'm about to say, hold on. BT, you a little bit too calm. You a little bit too calm and collected for me. I hear you all saying, yeah, my sister, she can't be there. She just had her first baby. What the hell? No, I just became an uncle for the first time. So now, if I hit a homer, when I hit a homer, did you have a little girl or a little boy?
Little boy.
Oh my freak! Listen, BT. Listen, I don't know where you get your cool, calm, collected from. So wait a minute. So you haven't seen the baby in person yet?
Oh no, I have. I mean, it's like he's 5 months.
Okay. I'm thinking. Okay. I'm thinking you haven't seen it. Okay, I get it. Brand new babies. You ain't finna have them out in that Florida heat. I get that part, but now you're creating memories for a little person who don't even know what a baseball is. Mm-hmm. So now the question is, when you hit a home run and you give it to your dad, does the dad give it to his new grandson?
Probably so. As long as you don't slobber on it, we're good.
Oh, he's gonna slobber on you. He's gonna slobber on you, BC, man. Listen, number one, I remember when you came from. Like I said, I keep up with Florida very, very heavily. Being a Georgia boy myself, I remember when you came. From Coastal Carolina, Chanticleer. That's a huge rooster-looking bird. For those of you who don't know, it's like a mutant bird. For those of you who don't know, but I gotta ask this though. With everything from, not growing up a baseball fan, being in love with football, being a punter, that's crazy as hell. Quarterback and a punter. So now it's fourth down. So let me get this straight. You don't get the first down. You got to stay on the field to punt. You just back up and punt it.
Yeah. We had a chance to go for it on fourth or fake a punt though.
I mean, coach ain't finna let you fake the punt because you get hit and you hurt your shoulder. Then you can come in the next series. Come on, BC, man. I got to protect the package, man.
You had to have a bone sticking out of my body for me not to play.
So during this conversation, I'm a Georgia boy. Cool, calm as it get. I don't get flustered, man. I don't feel listen, pressure bust pipes, man. I'm a diamond. I don't feel the pressure. Back to back, the 3 jacks in 2 days. Changing people's lives, telling people I'm just a catcher. I don't do NIL. I make sure I manage the money. I don't spend the money. Now I'm a funkle. That's the greatest word I've ever heard. Fun uncle. Getting ready to start the regionals. Texas Tech and, FAMU and things of that nature. But most importantly, man, I do this for real. BT, number one, man, stay healthy. Number two, man, enjoy yourself when you out there. Number three, listen, man, don't cut down on the trash talking now. It's a lot of bleeps going on out there when y'all get to Alabama. Like, ooh, listen, man, could y'all take the camera away? Because it's a natural dislike. But I appreciate you going against your I don't do NIL to come on this platform in 84 Reasons. Florida Victorious, myself, Ryan. We know you're a busy man these days, but do you have a celebration being a new uncle? I don't know if y'all allowed to do it. If you hit a homer, are you going to point to the heavens or something saying, hey, man, I just got a brand new, nephew. I want to send him some love.
No, I always point up because my grandfather he's the biggest Gator fan ever. He actually went to the University of Florida back in the 50s. And, he always wanted me to be a Gator as a young boy and stuff like that. I grew up an FSU fan because my sister went there. My aunt went there. But yeah, I'm just super blessed.
You grew up a Florida State fan. Now he got right. You just said I grew out of it. I grew out of this.
Absolutely.
Now I'm right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thinking about my grandpa when I do stuff, I'm proud. Yeah.
Well, before I let you go though, hold on. What was that like when y'all played Florida State? Obviously, listen, I got to do this. Florida State, listen, usually if you're a good baseball team, you get to go play in the tournament. You get to go, y'all been eliminated. We ain't gonna, throw salt in the room. But how crazy was that growing up a Florida State fan, then playing against them? You see how you pick the right colors in the right part of Florida, saying, man, I ain't want to go over there with them boys.
Oh, absolutely. I do not like that place now, I promise.
He is BT Riopelle. He's a brand new uncle. Daddy's getting the home run balls, loves hunting and fishing and playing pool, dealing with that Florida sun. Now getting ready to host some regionals in Gainesville, Gville, for those of you who don't know. And guess what? If you're not a Gator, it don't matter anyway. You just mad because you ain't us. We somebody's, you nobodies, just deal with it. I am Ben Troop. He is BT Riopelle, and this is 84 Reasons. No games, no gimmicks. Not my reasons, his reasons. BT, from one BT to another BT, I could talk trash because I can't hit the broadside of a bomb. But this man, if you lay it up, you will watch it go away. BT, man, I appreciate you taking the time today, big time.
Appreciate it, Ben. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir.